Classifying quadrilaterals.
When classifying quadrilaterals, you have to know the different types of them.
There are 7 types of quadrilaterals: the square, kite, rectangle, rhombus, parallelogram, trapezoid, and isosceles trapezoid.
To start naming them, we have the parallelogram. It's a quadrilateral with both pairs of opposite sides being parallel, and a rhombus. Parallelogram with 4 congruent sides.
A rectangle is a parallelogram with 4 right angles, while a square is a parallelogram with 4 congruent sides and 4 right angles.
Then, the rest are the kite, a quadrilateral with 2 pairs of adjacent sides and no opposite sides, the trapezoid, a quadrilateral with parallel sides, and last, the isosceles triangle, a right trapezoid whose non-parallel opposite sides are congruent.
When graphing the points, you want to make sure to find the slope of each side. Then use a distance formula to see if the sides are congruent.
Okay, so for identifying the shapes with a graph, you first want to dot the points, right? So A would be here, B here, C here, and D here. Then you want to connect the dots, then find the slope of them. So find the slope of the connected dots to find the shape. After you find the slope, you want to find the distance formula. And you can see here that AB equals 12 and DC equals 12. So AB here is equal to DC. They're congruent. Same thing with BD equals 24 and CA equals 24. And they are congruent. For the second problem, you want to do the same thing. You want to graph the points. You want to graph the points on the graph, right? Then add the dots together and then find the slope. For the slope, you want it to be like around the same so you can find out if the points are congruent. Then after that, you use the distance formula to see if they truly are congruent. And for the shape here, we can see that this resembles a kite because it has one pair of congruent and another pair of congruent sides.
The final step to classifying quadrilaterals is using the properties of special quadrilaterals. To do this, you want to identify the opposite sides with each other and solve them to find if they are congruent or not.
In this first problem, we have a kite. So what we're going to do first is BA equals BC, which is definition of kite. And then we're going to substitute 3x minus 4 equals x. Once we have that, we're going to add 4 to each side. And then we're going to subtract x from each side, and then divide 2 from each side to get x equals 2. Then we're going to get AD equals CD, which is also definition of kite. We're going to substitute that, add 5 to each side, and subtract y from each side to get y equals 6. In the second one, we have a square. So first we have BA equals CD, which is definition of square. Then we're going to substitute, so it's 7x minus 2 equals 5x plus 2. We're going to add 2 to each side, subtract 5, then we're going to divide 2 to get x equals 2. Then we have BC equals 80, which is definition of square. And we're going to substitute that to get 14 minus 1 equals 12 plus y. Then we subtract 12 from each side to get y equals 1.
So another example here, we'll use a real-world example with this door. If we cut this door in half, and we create points M, B, X, and A, and we create lines connecting the dots, we can easily find if they're congruent or not. So we can't really I can't draw on the door, but you can see here that one side right here, this one, is longer, just like this one, and this one is the same size as this one. So therefore, this would be a rectangle because there's 2 opposite sides congruent with each other.
The end.